Picture this. You spend 8 hours at work, dreaming about freedom, counting down the minutes until you can finally live your life. But then 6 p.m. hits, and what happens? You collapse on the couch, mindlessly scroll through your phone, and before you know it, it's midnight. Another evening, gone. Another chance at growth, wasted. Sound familiar? Here's the brutal truth. Most of us are living like zombies after work, and it's slowly killing our dreams. But what if I told you that your evenings could become the most powerful part of your entire day? What if those precious hours after work could transform you from someone who just survives into someone who actually thrives? I used to be the king of wasted evenings. Every single night was the same depressing cycle: exhaustion, mindless scrolling, regret, repeat. I was like a hamster on a wheel, running nowhere fast. But then something clicked, and everything changed. Today, I'm going to share the 8 strategies that completely revolutionized my after-work hours. These aren't just tips, they're life-changing systems that work with your natural energy, not against part. And the best part, they're so simple that you can start implementing them tonight. Chapter 1, Routines and Structure, the foundation of evening mastery. Let's start with a reality check that might surprise you. The biggest mistake most people make when trying to fix their evenings isn't what you'd expect. They obsess over time management when what they really need is energy management. Think about it this way. Your evening isn't just numbers on a clock. It's about your energy levels, your mental state, and your ability to actually enjoy life after being drained by work all day. The first game changer is something I call the shutdown ritual. It sounds fancy, but it's beautifully simple. The moment you finish work, and I mean the exact moment, you stand up, take 3 deep breaths, and physically close your laptop or put away your work materials. Here's why this works like magic. It's not just a cute habit. It's actually a psychological trigger that tells your brain work mode is officially off. Life mode is now on. Your brain craves these clear signals, and without them, you'll stay stuck in work mode all evening long. But here's where most people stumble next. They see their evening as one big, overwhelming chunk of free time. That's like trying to eat an entire pizza in one bite. It's just too much. Instead, I discovered something called the 90-minute evening block system. Your brain naturally works in 90-minute focus cycles. So instead of facing 4 hours of undefined, free time, we're going to break it into what I call power blocks. Block 1 is recovery. This is your sacred decompression time. No decisions, no planning, just pure recharge. Maybe you take a hot shower, listen to music, or just sit in silence. And yes, you absolutely need this block. Don't skip it thinking you're being productive. Block 2 is growth. This is when your energy starts climbing back up, making it perfect for learning something new, getting some movement in, or working on that hobby you've been neglecting. This block transforms you from someone who just exists into someone who evolves. Block 3 is connection. Your energy is balanced now, making it the ideal time for quality relationships. Whether it's deep conversation with your partner, playing with your kids, or catching up with friends, this is when human connection feels natural and fulfilling. Now, here's something that completely transformed my approach: reverse scheduling. Most people plan from morning to evening, but here's the truth. Your evening affects your morning more than your morning affects your evening. So we're going to flip the script. Start with when you want to sleep, then structure your evening blocks backward from there. When you do this, something magical happens. Your entire day starts working in your favor instead of against you. Finally, there's the 2-minute evening reset. Every time you switch between activities, take just 2 minutes to physically reset your space. Clear your desk, adjust the lighting, change your clothes if you need to. These might seem like tiny actions, but they create massive psychological shifts that compound over time. Chapter 2. Digital Wellness. Taming the Energy Vampirus. Let's talk about something that's quietly destroying millions of evenings every single night. Our relationship with technology. I'm going to be direct here because this might be the most important chapter for your transformation. Your phone and laptop are like energy vampires. Just like those creatures in old movies that drain life force, Your devices are quietly sucking away your evening potential, leaving you feeling empty and disconnected from your own life. But here's the thing, I'm not going to tell you to throw your phone in a drawer and live like it's 1995. Instead, I'm going to show you how to turn these devices from evening destroyers into evening enhancers. The first strategy is something I call app mortality. Here's the challenge: every evening, delete one app from your phone. I can hear your objection already, but what if I need it tomorrow? And that's fine, you can always reinstall it. But here's what's remarkable: 90% of the time, you won't even remember which app you deleted. This simple practice teaches your brain something profound. Most of your digital consumption is completely unconscious and unnecessary. You're not choosing to use these apps. They're choosing to use you. Next up is the analog hour. 1 hour before bed, your devices go to sleep before you do. But here's the crucial part that most people miss. Don't just turn them off, actually put them in a different room. When you do this, something beautiful happens. Your bedroom transforms from feeling like a satellite office into an actual sanctuary. Your mind starts associating that space with rest and rejuvenation instead of work stress and digital chaos. But digital minimalism isn't about living in the past, it's about using technology intentionally. So here's what works. Choose 3 essential apps for your evening. That's it. Everything else is just digital noise that's stealing your peace and focus. I also use what I call screen life separation tactics. The idea is to create physical barriers between you and your screens. Put your charger in the kitchen. Keep your laptop in a drawer when you're not using it. Use a real alarm clock instead of your phone. These might seem like small changes, but they build what I like to call a fortress around your evening peace. Remember, technology should serve your evening, not steal it. Chapter 30E, Psychological Techniques, Mastering Your Mental State. Now that we've tamed our digital demons, let's focus on something equally important: our minds. Your mind is essentially the control room of your evening, and these psychological techniques aren't just tips from some self-help book. They're real transformations that have worked for thousands of people. First, let me share an insight that changed everything for me: digital sunset protocols. Your brain doesn't distinguish between digital light and sunlight. So when you're staring at screens until midnight, your brain thinks it's high noon. But the key isn't just about when you look at screens, it's about how you transition away from them. This leads us to creating what I call your evening sanctuary. And no, this isn't about throwing some comfortable pillows around. It's about building a space that speaks directly to your subconscious mind, telling it, this is where transformation happens. Think dim lights that signal relaxation, soft textures that invite comfort, calm colors that soothe your nervous system. Your environment is having a conversation with your brain every single second. Make sure it's saying the right things. Here's a technique that transformed my entire mindset: future self journaling. Every evening, write a letter to your morning self. But here's the psychological twist that makes all the difference. Don't write what you should do. Instead, write how you want to feel. Your brain has this incredible ability to reverse engineer the path to those feelings. When you focus on the emotional destination instead of the logical steps, something magical happens. Your subconscious starts creating the conditions for those feelings to emerge naturally. Now let's talk about the evening energy debt mindset. Most people see their evening as borrowed time from tomorrow, like they're stealing hours from their future productivity. But here's the shift that changes everything. Stop thinking this way. Your evening isn't a debt you're paying. It's an investment you're making. Each restful moment is actually building tomorrow's energy reserves. Each meaningful activity is depositing into your life satisfaction account. When you shift from debt thinking to investment thinking, everything changes. Finally, there's the decision elimination strategy. By evening, your decision-making muscles are literally exhausted. Research shows that the average person makes about 35 Zalozan decisions per day. By 6 p.m., you're running on decision-making fumes. So here's what works: eliminate every possible decision. Lay out tomorrow's clothes. Pre-plan your meals. Set up your morning space. Your future self will thank you for this gift of mental clarity. Chapter 4. Mindfulness and Emotional Intelligence. The Inner Game. The way we manage our thoughts naturally leads us to understanding our emotions. And here's something most people get wrong: your emotions aren't something you need to manage. They're actually signals waiting to be understood. In your evenings, these signals become incredibly powerful tools for transformation. Let's start with micro-meditation moments. Forget everything you know about sitting for an hour in lotus position. We're going to think smaller, much smaller. When you pour your evening tea, feel the warmth of the cup. When you sit on your couch, notice 3 points where your body touches the surface. These tiny moments of awareness work like hitting a reset button for your mind. They bring you back to the present moment instead of letting your thoughts spiral into tomorrow's stress or today's regrets. Here's a practice that completely transformed my evenings: the evening awareness protocol. Most of us rush through our evenings on autopilot, but your evening has a pulse, a rhythm, a flow. Every hour, take just 10 seconds to name your current emotion. That's it. Just name it. Don't try to change it, don't judge it, just acknowledge it. The simple act of naming emotions reduces their power over you by 40%. This isn't just feel-good psychology, this is neuroscience in action. Next is present moment anchoring. Pick 3 everyday evening activities, maybe brushing your teeth, washing dishes, or changing clothes. These become your mindfulness anchors. When you do these activities, you're not just going through the motions, you're practicing presence. I've discovered that these mundane moments can become your most powerful meditation sessions. There's something beautiful about finding depth in the ordinary, meaning in the routine. Try emotional energy tracking. Your emotions aren't random, they follow patterns, just like everything else in nature. Keep a simple energy scale from 1 to 10. Track it 3 times each evening. After 2 weeks, you'll start seeing your emotional rhythms as clearly as your daily schedule. This awareness gives you incredible power. Instead of being at the mercy of your moods, you become the architect of your emotional experience. The evening emotional audit might sound intense, but it actually brings freedom. Before bed, ask yourself 3 simple questions. What energized me today? What drained me? What surprised me? And here's the key: don't write essays. Single words are enough. You're not analyzing here, you're just acknowledging. This simple practice builds emotional intelligence faster than any course or book ever could. Chapter 50, Social Strategies and Dynamics. The connection factor. Beyond all this inner work, there's another crucial piece: our social connections. We talk about physical energy, but your social energy matters just as much. Mastering this aspect creates evenings that fill you up instead of leaving you drained and empty. Think of it this way: your social battery works exactly like your phone battery. Just like you check your phone's charge, you need to know how much social energy you have left. This is what I call the social battery management system. Here's the key insight: some activities charge you up, while others drain you down. The secret is figuring out your unique pattern. Are you someone who gets energized by deep one-on-one conversations? Or do you thrive in group settings? Do you recharge through helping others? Or do you need to receive support? Instead of spreading yourself thin, trying to maintain 20 different friendships, which never works, focus on building 3 to 5 deep connections. These people become your evening tribe. They understand that sometimes you need connection, and sometimes you need space. Now let's address something that affects everyone, but no one talks about: energy vampires. I want to be clear here. These aren't bad people. They're just people whose energy patterns clash with yours. Maybe they're chronic complainers, or they need constant reassurance, or they turn every conversation into a crisis. Do an energy vampire audit. Start noticing which evening social interactions leave you feeling tired versus energized. This isn't about avoiding people, it's about timing your interactions wisely. Here's the social recharge protocol that works like a safety net. For every hour of social interaction, plan 15 minutes of quiet time. Think of it like cooling down after exercise. You wouldn't just stop running and immediately sit down, you need to walk it off first. Something that shifted my perspective completely is the connection-productivity balance. What if connection is productivity? Those evening conversations might actually be recharging your creativity, problem-solving abilities, and emotional resilience in ways we never realized. Start mapping your social energy the same way you'd map a city. Some places naturally energize you, others drain you. Some people lift you up, others require more energy than you have to give. And understand this, being selective isn't selfish, it's being sustainable. Accept Chapter 6e. Creative approaches for habit formation, making it stick. Now that we understand the social aspects, let's turn these insights into lasting habits. Working with hundreds of people has taught me that building evening habits isn't about forcing yourself to change. It's about becoming an architect of small, powerful actions that transform your life naturally. The magic word here is naturally. When habits feel forced, they don't last. But when they feel natural, they become part of who you are. Try micro-habit stacking. Instead of trying to build one big, overwhelming habit, we stack tiny ones together. Each should take less than 30 seconds. Here's how it works when you walk through your front door, hang your keys, take off your shoes, and change your clothes. See what happened there. 3 micro-habits, 1 natural moment. Your brain loves these connected sequences because they require minimal willpower. Next is finding your evening keystone habit. Think of it like the first domino that makes all the others fall. For me, it's making a cup of tea. Such a simple thing, right? But this simple act sends a signal to my brain. The evening transformation begins now. From there, everything else flows naturally. Most people make this mistake. They try to stick to one hobby every evening. That's like eating the same meal every single day. Instead, create a wheel of 4 different activities: reading, drawing, music, crafts, whatever speaks to you. Rotate through them. Your brain loves this variety, and it completely prevents evening boredom. Here's something playful that keeps your evenings interesting: the daily experiment protocol. Each evening, try one tiny new thing. Maybe sit in a different chair, use your non-dominant hand for something simple, or play music you've never heard before. These small experiments keep your brain flexible and your evenings surprising. When you're constantly trying new things, even tiny things, your brain stays in growth mode instead of autopilot mode. This is where real magic happens: creative cross-pollination. Start letting your evening activities blend together naturally. If you're learning guitar, try doodling the chord patterns. If you're reading, act out the scenes when you're alone. When activities mix like this, your brain creates amazing new neural pathways. Evening boredom becomes literally impossible because your mind is constantly making new connections. Finally, embrace the creative fallow period. Sometimes your evening energy will be low, and that's not failure, it's your brain's natural reset. These quiet moments aren't empty at all. They're like a field resting between harvests, preparing for your next creative burst. Chapter 7. Energy management, cognitive and physical optimization. All these habits we've been talking about need energy to sustain them. Think of your brain and body as the power plants of your evening. Understanding how to manage them changes everything about your after-work hours. First up, movement snacking. Forget about forcing yourself into a full workout when you're already tired. Instead, we're going to take tiny bites of movement throughout your evening. Stand up every 30 minutes, stretch for 60 seconds, do 5 jumping jacks between tasks. These aren't exercise, they're energy boosters. They work by activating your lymphatic system, increasing blood flow, and telling your brain that you're still alive and engaged with life. Here's something fascinating about evening energy. It follows a natural curve like a wave. From 5 to 7 p.m., your energy naturally dips, we all feel it. Then from 7 to 9 p.m., it rises again. After 9 p.m., it should gradually descend to prepare for sleep. Working with this curve, not against it, is the secret to mastering your evening energy. During the dip, focus on gentle activities like organizing or light reading. During the rise, tackle more engaging projects. During the descent, wind down with calming rituals. Try this technique, the energy audit. Think of yourself as a personal evening scientist. For 1 week, rate your energy every hour from 1 to 10. Write down what you're doing, eating, thinking. You'll start seeing patterns emerge. Some activities drain you, others recharge you. This isn't about judgment, it's about discovery. Once you know your patterns, you can design evenings that work with your natural rhythms instead of against them. Now let's talk about mental energy preservation. Your brain has a finite amount of decision-making power each day. By evening, it's running low. That's why we need to establish what I call your evening thought diet. You need to be selective about what deserves your remaining mental energy. Social media scrolling, that's junk food for your brain. But deep conversation or creative work, that's brain nutrition. Remember, your evening energy isn't about pushing through tiredness. It's about understanding your natural rhythms and honoring them. When you work with your body's wisdom instead of fighting it, your evenings transform from exhausting to energizing. Chapter 80. Integration Strategies. Bringing it all together. Everything we've explored comes together in these final integration strategies. These aren't just bonus tips. They're the framework that makes all other evening practices stick together naturally. The life-work separation ritual works as your daily bridge. Most people try to build a solid wall between work and life, but that actually creates more tension than it solves. Instead, we're going to build a bridge. Picture creating a 15-minute transition space. With each step across this bridge, you're moving further from work mode and closer to life mode. Maybe you change clothes, take a walk, or listen to music. The activity doesn't matter, the intention does. Here's a key insight about boundaries. It's not about building walls. Think about training a puppy. Gentle, consistent guidance works better than harsh rules. When work tries to creep into your evening, don't fight it. Simply guide your attention back to your personal life, just like you gently guide a puppy back to its bed. Finally, we come to what ties everything together, the whole life integration framework. Your evening isn't some separate part of your life, it's actually the foundation of everything else. Every single evening activity either builds or drains your life's energy. The key is choosing activities that fill you up, creating spaces that lift your spirit, and building relationships that light up your world. When you do this consistently, something beautiful happens. Your evening transforms into a daily celebration of who you're becoming. Instead of just surviving until bedtime, you're actively crafting the life you want to live. Think about it. If you transform just your evenings, you've transformed nearly half your waking hours. That's not just an improvement, that's a complete life revolution. The strategies I've shared aren't just techniques, they're doorways to a completely different way of living. A way where your evenings become the highlight of your day instead of something you just survive through. You have the power to make this change starting tonight. Not next week, not next month, tonight. Your future self is waiting for you to take that first step. If this resonated with you and you're ready to transform your evenings into the most powerful part of your day, show some love by hitting that like button. And if you want more strategies for mastering your life after work, make sure to subscribe because we're just getting started on this journey together.